Flathead Lake, and Chief Cliff
here.
is right there. You go through the big draw, which was just a huge gush of water, right? Wrapping around the mountains there. There's
mention the
evidence
Elmo moraine right here.
etched on the side of the hillsides. Oh yeah, there's just so much. I mean, you just got your eyes pinned to the window. You wish we had one of those things where you can stand out on the top and just look out in all directions all the time.
Yeah, let me try something here and see if this works. This is an experiment, everybody. I'm going to try. Brad mentioned that there were, you could the shorelines on the side of the mountains here. I wonder if they show up on Google Earth. So I'm going to grab the little guy here and drop him right here on 28. And let's see what we see here. Okay. All right. Well, there we see some eroded knobby outcrops, which were underwater, but the shorelines would have been over here. Yeah, you can actually see them. Look at this. Are you guys following my screen?
Yeah, I don't think you're down far enough yet, but yeah, that's definitely.
Well, you can see the
flow erosion through there. Yeah,
high flow erosion all the way down through here, sculpting the sides of these. Oh yeah, the shorelines are way down here.
Really. Once you take that 90-degree left turn, then they're all over the place.
They're all over the place. Yeah. And so we're on the bottom of Big Draw, it's called, and Big Draw was a V-shaped valley. But when the floods came through here, they were so overloaded with sediment that what the highway is here, it's on top of this thick layer of sediment that's hundreds of feet thick, and the top of the sediment, is the flat highway. So when we drive in this direction, we would be going in the direction of the water flow. So that's one of the things that we try to do as we're going through here, is keep people apprised of, are we going upstream, up flood, or down flood? Yeah. So Randall
likes to help you visualize him captaining a raft and us just busting through the whitewater of this gush of a flood wave going down through these mountain valleys of Montana. So yeah, we're just barely covering one day's worth of stuff there, and we'll be out there for almost 6. So quite a great time. But yeah, I don't know, let's jump into something else here. I don't want to totally dominate zone Montana, but yeah, it's pretty consuming.
We'll leave
freaking love it out there.
This right here, I think we've all, well, Matt, you have yet to, you haven't seen this yet, but when we come from the north, you come down 28, the road splits right here. This is a group of hills. Watch this. We'll just do this, then we'll leave and get back to what the program here. But you see this, it splits, 28 and 32 splits. So
you're off the maps now.
You're not sharing.
I'm not sharing. Oh, okay. I apologize for that. We should be able to get right back there. I'm learning how about now?
It's back.
There we go.
All right. So here's 382 and 28. They split right here. And this is the Marco Hills that run east to west like a ridge across the floor of the Little Bitterroot Valley. Now, that water, we were just traveling down Big Draw here. Brad mentioned this right angle turn. So the water come and then sloshed around, almost literally made a right angle turn and came south. And then when it hit the Marco Hills, something really incredible. And we bring this in. You come through the pass right here, the Marco Pass. You come in, and right when you make this curve, there's a pull off right here, and you can then look to the south, and what you see is the gigantic, monstrous current ripple fields that testify beyond any shadow of a doubt the kinds of unbelievably biblical scale floods we're actually talking about here. And what's interesting about this, like Matt, you can see this, you had two currents that were diverging around the hills and then rejoining. So look, you've got a current coming through here, and you've got another current coming this way. Can you actually see that? So these two currents actually meet where 382 is right now.
Mm-hmm. That's fascinating.
Isn't that? And look at, and so then there's a third stream over here, and as you get south, they get smaller, but it's huge. It's miles long.
And the other
large
thing you're
ones-
taking in going through there as we're driving across is that it was 1,000 feet deep of water gushing through there. You just don't really have a concept of
No,
how
you
much
don't.
water, even when you're there.
Actually,
It's so outrageous.
actually, the high water mark, this is the magic number, 4,200 feet above sea level, was the top of the water throughout the entire Missoula Basin. So if you know the elevation of the land that you're on, if you've got an altimeter or an altimeter, or you got access to Google Earth. This is Google Maps. If I open Google Earth, I could scroll over it, and I would know exactly what the water depth is. Well, right here, the water depth, the elevation of this current ripple field here is right at 3,000 feet above sea level. 2,900, 3,000 feet above sea level. That means that the water was at least 12 to 1,300 feet deep at its peak. And if I zoom out, what we're actually looking at here is between the hills on the east and the hills on the west. You had a river that was about at its peak, 1,400 feet deep, up to 5 miles wide, and probably moving at a velocity of about 40 to 50 miles per hour.
So that's deeper or higher than pretty much any building in almost every city.
Yes, that's right.
You go to any nearby city other than the huge cities, and that water's going to be deeper than the tallest skyscraper you see in that city.
Yes.
It's mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling. And one of the objectives on these tours is to teach people how to read and decipher this evidence that's really everywhere, all about us. I mean, the whole planet preserves these landscapes of these tremendous, huge, outsized events. The key here is that these aren't just about sightseeing, although they're spectacular sightseeing. It's also about learning to actually read the script like a language. And that's what it is. It's a language. And I can just pull out here for a second. Since I didn't change screens, we're still
we're seeing
visible,
it.
right?
Google Earth. Yep.
Yeah, Great Lakes there.
Sweet. All right. So I'm going to go right back quickly here, and then
we just might have to train you to use a different screen for your browser that's not the 4K one. Maybe that'll be easy enough to figure out.
Not the 4K one. All right.
I mean, it's not too bad on my end. But
okay, so now we're going to view the same Camus Prairie from Google Earth. Here we go. Yep, it's showing up beautifully on Google Earth. All right, so I'm going to go down here, let's say to the south end of these current ripple fields, and I'm hovering right here. And I'm looking down here in the lower right-hand corner. I don't know if you guys can see it. If you look in the very lower right-hand corner, you're going to see 2946, right?
Yep.
Can you see it? If I move my cursor right down here. Right at 3,000, okay?
Yeah.
So right there, that tells you, since the high water mark has left a clear indication of its passage at 4,200 feet. Right here now, wherever my cursor is, we can estimate quickly that the water's at least 1,200 feet deep there. If I go south, okay, we're dropping in elevation, I believe, as we go south somewhat. 3,000, 1,200 feet deep. And then the water ultimately flowed through this channel. This was the discharge channel right here. And so we'll typically follow the point, this channel that leads out of the Camus Prairie Basin and come down here. It's a beautiful junction here of the Flathead River. And
right, we stopped after the bison range and had dinner there, right in that park, right at the confluence there. Yeah, that was great.
And then if we go east, there's the bison range, which is just spectacular. And we'll make this is quite a journey up this road. You can see a lot of switchbacks getting up to the top. So you've got this tremendous view up to the north, and it really helps. I wonder if I can.
So on Bison Range, will I see buffalo?
Yes, you will.
Okay.
You will see actual real life buffalo.
Sweet.
Well,
yeah.
Some may be
used to
blocking
be
the
real
road
life
in the
buffalo.
progress.
Now they're just animatronic models
that's
that they
that's
have
what I
out in the
heard.
field.
Yeah, they're
Of
out.
course, this does not convey the exhilarating, spectacular view that you get from the top of the Bison Range.
Yeah.
Looking up, you get the whole Mission Valley spread out below you, and then at the northern end you've got Flathead Lake. And so right here, I mean, it's a great vantage point to really begin to comprehend the magnitude of this whole phenomenon. So I guess that's enough of that, right?
Yeah.